to Channel 8 News. My moniker is Megan Miller.
And I'm designated Jennifer Moreland. In recent news, Congress has extended their idiocracy to new elevations. Instead of funneling a sufficiently elementary yet pleasing bill, they decided to delegate upon a superficial, overly unnecessary band-aid to the problem.
Congress, instead of reaching a moderate compromise, extended the debating period for the extremely fundamental and applicable funding of the Department of Homeland Security, effectively doing absolutely nothing but celebrating and spouting about their intelligent, well-versed, and unanimous decision to extend the bill for a week.
Our nation's nitwit cretins located in Washington, D.C. need to get back to the point, being fortuitous governors by developing our economic and political infrastructure into something gratuitous and vigorous.
They must abrogate their frivolous games and start to once again reach the pinnacle of the magnificent opportunity that is awarded to them.
Now, we will join our wayfaring cameraman to the immeasurable and incredible Poway High School.
A multitude of Poway High scholars are incredibly infuriated during their epigrammatic two-day hiatus from classwork as a result of a repugnant teacher who possesses.
We shall delve into the mind of the capricious and malignant pedagogue.
The aforementioned pedagogue angered his pupils by assigning a myriad of projects, including an outrageous, toilsome program, with the intent of teaching his students the various subdivisions of buffoonery.
Two particular students elected to explore the subdivision of bombast, a sector of comedy in which people unnecessarily utilize excessively elevated language in an attempt to portray themselves as intelligent, but instead convey solely idiocy.
The boastful and ranting nature of this absurd language attempts to inspire cachinnation from the audience and was commonly used by Shakespeare, specifically in his predominant work titled A Midsummer Night's Dream.
In A Midsummer Night's Dream, bombast is utilized most often by the character who goes by the name of Bottom, as a humorous indication of his arrogant stupidity and ignorance. Shakespeare forces bombast upon Bottom when Bottom is with the fairy queen. By constantly boasting of his qualities, Bottom ubiquitously utters absurd statements.
The unnecessary and exaggerated language compels the audience to be enchanted in humor. By using bombast so often within the character of Bottom, Shakespeare sets the exaggerated tone of the entire play. Events occur so precisely, strangely, and unexpectedly in the theatrical production that it appears to parallel the strange, humorous, bombastic speeches of Bottom.
The excessively misuses of words cause the mechanicals to seem significantly more ignorant than their supporting characters.
Noteworthy author Charles Dickens is also notorious for penning novels that utilize a bombastic tone.
A prime example is when antagonist Wilkins Micawber addresses David Copperfield as a man who labors under the pressure of pecuniary embarrassments is, with the generality of people, at a disadvantage. That disadvantage is not diminished when that pressure necessitates the drawing of stipendiary emoluments before these emoluments are strictly due and payable.
Fabulous example, Jen. Much gratitude, dear Jen, for sharing such relevant information. Let us now presently transition back to our anchors. Regardless of their joy of examining the subject, pupils everywhere will benefit from an in-depth understanding of the different variations of humor.
Aspiring to increased knowledge of facetiousness, we'll now travel to various hotspots to examine practical use of a bombastic tone.
Good evening, my well-respected and hard-working barista. I desire to request a heated grande vanilla latte in an attempt to satisfy my longing taste buds and to make biddable the frigid outdoor air. Much appreciation. Enjoy the remainder of the cultured hour. As you have witnessed in the recent display, an overly bombastic tone has a contradicting effect. Bombast wrongly utilizes conglomerations of flatulent garrulity, jejune babblement, and asinine affectation.
In a shallow attempt to portray intelligence, bombast instead makes the user appear idiotic, thus creating a humorous effect. Let's again examine this effect.
Here we are at the fine establishment from the Sons of Albert, buying Valentine's Day chattel. On a day overflowing with enchanted devotion and flaming enchantment, it is essential to purchase a multitude of suitable appliances. Let's journey indoors. In order to successfully enhance your solicitous paramour into having a triumphant evening, nestled up in the environs of a feathered bed, you must purchase the food of the god, chocolate. This dark, divine deliciousness is guaranteed to pleasure even the most stringent savory advocates. Championed by Hershey's, this confectionery blessing is sure to make your Valentine's Day picturesque. After successfully purchasing the amorous ambrosia, head over to aisle 69 to find the necessary items for some libidinous activity.
You and your lustful beau require these protective garments for use during sexual intercourse. If you plan to engage in coitus in the morrow without bringing a progeny into the universe, a contraceptive device is extremely pertinent.
And now, to accompany such doohickey, one must everlastingly invest in blossoms to most certainly articulate copious bundles of adulation. We hope your special evening is filled with love and passion. Ta-ta! As you can see, this high level of vocabulary makes a mockery of the speaker.
The conversational communications lack a clarified conciseness, a compactive comprehensiveness, coalescent consistency, and concatenated cognancy.
Here's what a normal person would say. To make sure you have a successful Valentine's Day, make sure you stop in the chocolate aisle to get some sweets for you and your lover.
Make sure to buy some condoms so you don't have a kid.
If you want to get lucky, make sure you buy some flowers. Bye! The vast contrast between the two occasions certainly emphasizes the superfluousness of such lavish vocabulary.
It is important to remember that unlike eloquence, a favorable term for forceful and persuasive discourse, bombast generally refers to the empty rhetoric or a windy grandeur of language.
Now back to the subject matter that is truly imperative.
Let's focus in on contemporary musical inclinations, highlighting the triad of ubiquitously popular musical compositions.
Uptown Funk, Bruno Mars and DJ Mark Ronson. This song, as eloquently described by creator Ronson, is a full-on combustible groove workout with elastic bass and an indomitable spirit. Reminiscent of classic 80s funk, rap, and soul, this melody makes even the grouchiest tap an effervescent foot. While it is imbued with loudness and tumultuous spirit, its genesis wasn't nearly as simplistic. It apparently took 7 months to write and 82 takes before hitting pop gold.
This one for them good girls, great masterpiece. Styling, wildin', living it up in the city. Got trucks up with sin wrong, gotta kiss myself, so pretty. I'm so happy.
Next up is Blank Space. Blank Space is a song by American Taylor Swift, who is often dubbed the most vexing yet terribly catchy songstress in the world. Penned furiously by Taylor Swift and two other underprivileged songwriters, the annoyingly enticing pop ballad soon reached #1 on the US Billboard Hot 100 following her tune, Shake It Off. The triumphant and resplendent Swift became the first woman in the Hot 100's 56-year history to succeed herself at the top spot. The music video for Blank Space shows Swift reveling in her hysterical delusion as she slashes portrait of her ex-lovers who tell her she's to blame.
But you'll come back each time you leave, 'cause darling, I'm a nightmare dressed like a daydream. So it's gonna be forever, if it's gonna go down in flames, you can tell me when it's over, if the high was worth the pain.
It does not get any more satiriferous than the third single, Sugar, from Maroon 5's latest album, V. It is a great treat to hear tambourine melodious vocals from frontman Adam Levine. This song, with its mellow production, is a breath of fresh air from the nearly oversaturated band. The prognostication is that this song, along with many from Swift, will continue to bedeck the top of the charts for many more morrows to come. Cogitations or articulating your superficial sentimentalities in amicable philosophical or psychological observations, beware of platitudinous ponderosity.
Let your extemporaneous descantings and unpremeditated expatiations have intelligibility and voracious vivacity, without one dominate or thrasonical bombast.
Sedulously avoid all polysyllabic profundity, pompous prolixity, pistacious vacuity, ventriloquial verbosity, and vanilloquent vapidity. That is all we have for you on this fine night, my staunchly steadfast attestant.
We yearn for you to all have a stupendously splendid nightfall and hope that you gaze upon us with such wonderment in the morrow.